Hello and welcome. My name is Stra and I joined Progress, one of the top guilds in the world, 2 weeks ago, and this is what I learned. So it's been about 4 months since I made this video and joined Progress, and this is gonna be a retrospective, a part 2 if you will. And I basically just wanted to touch whether or not my perspective has changed, if things turned out the way I expected them to, and whether or not if I'm still just as impressed as I were in the beginning. I hope you all had a good New Year's, and without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So first up, I wanted to just briefly mention the few things we've accomplished together. We did get T5 world firsts, as well as we won the world record for speedrunning in T5 as well. Now we of course have our sights set on Black Temple and Mount Hydro, and we honestly can't wait for T6 release. So a lot of stuff is as I predicted, with very high focus on not dying. We do a lot of testing, we try out things. There's a intense dedication to the game and to improving and min-maxing. And still we share a lot of, we basically share all of the knowledge that we have about the game, trying to improve everyone. Because if you teach someone the things you know, he might be able to elevate his game and bring some perspective to your game as well. So we kind of play ball with each other and try to collab as much as possible, of course. There is still a lot of expectations. This is everything from min-maxing to knowing everything there is about the mechanics, about your class, about how we play. And we also, of course, have a minimum requirement of 3 alts at the moment. We have people who have a lot more than 3 alts. But at the moment, we don't even need the 3 alts because we're a lot of people in the guild right now, which is very nice with the depth of roster. And we are trying to be as efficient as we can. And this is all things I pretty much said in the previous video. I think at the moment we are running 4 splits of T5, and even then we have some time to do AQs now with the nerfs of T5, of course. So one of the things that kind of shocked me, which I didn't expect, would be the stability even through key personnel changes. So I think from our world first T5 to our world record T5, which is a few months apart, there's only 9 out of 25 people still playing the same class and is in the raid. So the rest either got replaced, benched, quit, or re-rolled class for the race and the speedrun. I did check the numbers, and here, as you can see, we have 16 tanks, 20 healers, and 77 DPS, which is kind of a lot. Though some of these are like one-time joiners, like from socials or whatever, people filling when we couldn't make the roster pan out. But yeah, so this huge roster really gives us longevity and stability through changes. So we did have our kind of tank lead, our maybe role lead for tank, and the GM, he took a step back and went social. He quit shortly after, and he was a super big player when it came to like theory crafting, how to do pulls. He was obviously our paladin who did a lot of like the testing and theory crafting, as I said. But even though we lost him, there was someone there to pick up the mantle and keep the train rolling. So I think probably one of the biggest strengths of Progress right now is that we have such a depth of roster. We have so many people capable of playing multiple roles. We have there's a lot of redundancy in, I think, most positions. I think there's only like no, actually maybe there isn't any spots that's unfillable right now. I probably the hardest thing to fill would be the raid lead, because like our raid leader is doing such an amazing job. He puts in a shit ton of hours. I don't know how he has a life. I don't know how I have a life and just normal raiders, but the officers are doing so fucking much. It's incredible, to be honest. Just organizing everything would is probably hours and hours every week, if not every day. So big shout out to the leadership in progress. They are doing a fantastic job of organizing us Papegas and Sheeps. So one thing I personally took very notice of, and especially while writing this video, is the amount I fucked up, basically. I think in this raid environment where everyone is super min-maxed and hyper-focused most of the time, the like small breaks in focus where normally it would be super okay and basically no one would notice. In like this environment where everything is going so fast and we kind of have to pump all the time, like I really catch myself, you know. So there's definitely moments that I have fucked up. For instance, I once fucked up on a Strider and basically lost us one of the speedruns, which could have been world first or world record at the time, I mean. Yeah, I lost the tent. I lost the tent. Fuck, dude. Why? That was super unfortunate. But big shout out to the boys for getting the world record and sub 40 in the end. Unfortunately, I weren't a part of that. Probably due to the fuck up. Who knows? But the other enhance is just as good, if not even better. So big rats to us. And I think with that, this will conclude the video. Summary, pretty much as expected. I was very impressed with kind of how replaceable people are, because everyone is so good. But that's just big props to the leadership, recruiting and filling the rosters. We went through a lot of people. It's a lot of trial and error, finding the right people. And I think as things are now, things are really looking bright for the future for T6, for Wrath, and onwards. So T6 should, of course, be both speedrun and will go for a race. It's gonna be a fucking blast. Hopefully we run 2 enhancement shamans, so we kind of don't have to fight over the spots. If we have to, I would assume I get the one and Mura would get the other. I'm super excited. Make sure to follow me over on Twitch, and huge shout out to all of you guys who have been watching, who have been hanging out, watching the video, watching the stream, and also thank you so much for clicking the subscription down below. And I hope you have a good morning, day, or evening, wherever you are, or nights. And until next time, see ya.